They told you this was just another main event. They lied. What happened at World's End wasn't a match, it was a public execution of expectations, a violent argument about legacy, and a finish so cold it split the fanbase right down the middle. And before you even blinked, history was rewritten. Be honest, did you see that ending coming? The Continental Classic Finals exploded the second the bell rang, and if you think this was about championships, you missed the point entirely. This was about pride, punishment, and proving who truly owns AEW when everything is on the line. And yes, some of you are already furious. That's exactly why this match matters. Kazuchika Okada walked out like a king who'd survived every war imaginable, calm, focused, carrying the AEW Unified Championship like it was forged into his spine, no wasted movement, no fear in his eyes. Because Okada doesn't just defend titles, he dares people to take them. Question for you: where does this entrance rank among Okada's all-time greatest? Then came Jon Moxley. No theatrics, no smiles, just that dead-eyed stare of a man who doesn't wrestle to win, he wrestles to hurt. Representing the Death Riders, Moxley didn't look at the title, he looked at Okada like prey. And the tension in that building? You could feel it crawling under your skin. From the opening strike, it was chaos. Not flashy chaos, violent chaos. Elbows snapping, heads back. Forearms echoing through the arena, suplexes dumped with bad intentions. Every move felt personal, like both men were trying to erase the other from AEW history. Comment below, were you rooting for technique or brutality in this one? Okada tried to slow it down. Smart wrestling, precision, timing, but Moxley doesn't play chess, he flips the board over and dares you to fight him in the wreckage. The first near fall stunned the crowd, the second had people standing. By the third, nobody was breathing. Moxley targeted the neck like a man obsessed. Chokes, cranks, short, nasty strikes meant to drain the Rainmaker of everything he had left. And still, Okada kept getting up. That's what makes legends dangerous, they don't know when to stay down. Do you think resilience beats violence in today's AEW? Then came the moment that shifted everything. Moxley locked in the Bulldog choke, dead center. The crowd panicked. Okada faded and somehow fought free with pure instinct. The Rainmaker fired up, dropkick, snap German. The arena erupted because everyone thought they knew what was next. Rainmaker loaded, Moxley staggered, one more second and it was over. But Moxley slipped the lariat. Paradigm shift. 1, 2, no. The disbelief was deafening. Moxley didn't argue, didn't hesitate. He just stared at Okada and decided the violence wasn't done yet. Curb stomp, straight to the soul, and still Okada moved. That's when Moxley went dark. Death Rider DDT, no celebration, no wasted motion. The referee counted 3, and just like that, the unthinkable happened. Jon Moxley stood up as the new AEW Continental Champion, while Okada lay broken beneath the lights. Let's be real, was that the right call, or did AEW just shock for the sake of chaos? This wasn't just a title change. This was a statement. The Death Riders aren't lurking anymore, they're running the show. Moxley didn't steal a moment, he ended an era. And the scariest part, he looked like he could do it again tomorrow. Okada's loss was brutal, but don't get it twisted, legends don't fade, they reload. The question is when and how violent the comeback will be. Should Okada demand a rematch or disappear and return darker than ever? AEW's landscape just shifted. New rivalries are inevitable. Old grudges are about to explode. And Moxley? He's daring the locker room to step up. So I'll ask you, who's next? Omega, Swerve, Danielson, or someone nobody sees coming? Drop your hottest take in the comments, argue it out. And if this match got your blood boiling, share this video with someone who still thinks wrestling doesn't tell stories. This is Ring Rumble, and every suplex leaves scars. Because here's the part nobody is talking about enough: what happened after the bell rang might be even more dangerous than the match itself. Moxley didn't pose. He didn't soak in the cheers or the boos. He stood over Okada like the job wasn't finished, like championships are temporary but damage is permanent. And that silence in the arena? That wasn't shock, that was realization. AEW doesn't belong to finesse right now. It belongs to whoever is willing to go the furthest. Ask yourself this: when was the last time a title win felt this unsettling? The Death Rider's presence loomed over the ring like a warning. This wasn't just Moxley winning gold, this was a declaration of war on the entire locker room. Every wrestler backstage watching that monitor had the same thought: if Okada can fall like that, what chance do the rest of us have? And that's why this ending made people angry. Because it wasn't clean comfort. It wasn't poetic justice. It was raw, uncomfortable, and brutally real. Some fans wanted the Rainmaker moment. Others wanted chaos. AEW chose chaos. Which side are you on? Let's talk legacy for a second. Okada didn't lose credibility, he lost control. And sometimes, that's worse. He fought like a champion, adapted like a master, and still got dragged into Moxley's world. That tells a terrifying story. No matter how skilled you are, Moxley only needs one opening. Do you think Okada underestimated him, or was this outcome inevitable? And Moxley as Continental Champion? That title just changed meaning overnight. It's no longer about tournaments and rankings, it's about survival. Whoever challenges him next won't be stepping into a match, they'll be stepping into a fight they might not walk away from. Imagine the matchups. Imagine the promos. Imagine the blood feuds waiting to happen. This one opens doors for absolute madness. Former allies questioning loyalties. Rising stars being tested too early. Veterans forced to prove they still belong. AEW thrives when things feel unpredictable, and Worlds End delivered exactly that. But here's the real question nobody wants to answer. Was this the beginning of Moxley's most dominant reign, or the moment AEW created a monster it can't control? Because when violence becomes the standard, the only way to top it is more violence. If this match made you feel something, anger, hype, disbelief, then it did its job. Drop your take in the comments. Argue with each other. Defend your favorite. Call out the booking. Just don't pretend this didn't shake AEW to its core. Who challenges Jon Moxley next? Does Okada reclaim his throne? Or does AEW spiral into its most ruthless era yet? This was World's End. This was chaos. And this is Ring Rumble, where every suplex tells a story. And if you think the fallout ends there, you haven't been paying attention. Because the moment Moxley lifted that title, the locker room clock started ticking. Every contender, every ego, every unfinished rivalry just got pulled into Moxley's gravity. This isn't a champion who waits for challengers, this is a champion who invites danger. Quick question, would you step up now or wait until someone else softens him first? Look at the body language. Look at the aftermath. Okada didn't roll out. He didn't get helped up. He lay there, staring at the lights, processing something he hasn't felt in a long time: helplessness. And that image alone will live in AEW highlight reels forever. Do you think this loss humbles Okada, or fuels the most dangerous version of him yet? Because here's the scary part, losses like this don't break legends. They transform them. Meanwhile, Moxley didn't celebrate with fireworks or confetti. He walked up the ramp like a man clocking out after a hard day's work. That's not dominance, that's routine. And when violence becomes routine, championships become targets, not achievements. AEW now stands at a crossroads. Do they rally behind technical excellence and legacy? Or do they embrace the chaos Moxley represents? Every future match just got recontextualized. Every contender promo just got heavier. Because now the question isn't can you win, it's how much are you willing to endure. Think about the possible first challenger. Someone hungry enough to risk it all. Someone reckless enough to believe they can outlast pain. Who fits that description best in AEW right now? Drop a name even if it's a wild one. And don't ignore the Death Riders. Championships attract enemies, but factions create wars. If they tighten their grip, AEW could be heading into its most hostile era, yet alliances crumbling, betrayals happening mid-match, and chaos becoming the new normal. Is that exciting or terrifying? World's End didn't just end a year. It ended assumptions. It ended comfort. And it might have ended the idea that AEW crowns champions, because now, champions take their spot. So if this match pissed you off, hyped you up, or left you arguing with your screen, good. Wrestling is supposed to make you feel something. Smash that like button if this breakdown hit different, share this with a friend who still thinks Okada can't lose, and flood the comments with your boldest prediction. Because this story is far from over. This is Ring Rumble. The ring just got darker. And the next suplex might change everything. And here's what makes this whole thing burn even hotter: nobody walked away clean. Not the fans. Not the locker room. Not even Moxley himself. Because titles don't just sit on shoulders, they attract storms. You could feel it in the crowd afterward. That low buzz. That arguing in the aisles. Some people furious that Okada fell. Others thrilled that AEW chose unpredictability over comfort. That's when you know a match worked. Let me ask you this: should wrestling leave you satisfied, or should it leave you arguing all night? Moxley's reign doesn't promise classic handshakes and respectful nods. It promises bruises, grudges, and challengers walking in confident and walking out changed. And that's exactly why this championship suddenly feels heavier than it has in months. Think about the locker room politics now. Who dares step up without looking reckless? Who stays silent and waits for the chaos to thin itself out? There's fear in opportunity and opportunity in fear. Who do you think is watching Moxley the closest right now? And Okada, that silence is louder than any promo. No tantrum, no excuses, just absence. That's dangerous. Because when someone like Okada goes quiet, history tells us one thing: he's rebuilding, sharpening, preparing to remind everyone why he was untouchable in the first place. Would you rather see him chase Moxley again, or destroy someone else on the way back to the top? AEW thrives when lines blur, when heroes don't feel safe and villains don't need excuses. World's End didn't just blur those lines, it erased them. Moxley isn't asking for cheers, he's daring you to stop him. And that's the genius of it. Every defense will feel like a risk. Every challenger will feel like a sacrifice. The Continental Championship just became the most dangerous prize in the company. Is this the most volatile title reign AEW has ever seen? Because sooner or later, someone will step forward believing they're built different. And when that happens, we'll find out if Moxley's reign ends with applause, or with another body on the mat. So sound off in the comments. Defend your side, call your shot. Who survives this era? Who gets broken by it? And when this chapter finally ends, will AEW ever feel the same again? This isn't just wrestling. This is consequence. And this is Ring Rumble, where chaos doesn't knock, it kicks the door down. And here's the final layer people keep overlooking: this wasn't just about who won, it was about what AEW is becoming. Because when a company lets a match end that decisively, with that kind of finality, it sends a message louder than any promo ever could. This isn't the land of safe outcomes anymore. This is a place where reputations are tested in real time. Ask yourself, is AEW braver now or more ruthless? Moxley didn't steal the spotlight, he took responsibility for it. Every champion represents a direction, and this direction is clear: intensity over comfort, consequence over nostalgia. Some fans hate that, others crave it. Which one are you? And think about the ripple effect. Younger talent watching from the back didn't just see a title change, they saw the standard rise. You don't get to coast, you don't get protected, you either evolve or you get exposed. Who do you think benefits the most from this new environment? Because someone always does. Okada's loss created space. Space for new stars to rise, for old grudges to resurface, for stories that don't have obvious endings. That uncertainty? That's oxygen for wrestling. Would you rather know how things end, or feel nervous every time the bell rings? And let's be honest, moments like this are why fans argue online for days. It's why clips get replayed, why opinions get heated. World's End didn't give you closure, it gave you fuel. So here's the real challenge. When Moxley stands in that ring again, championship on his shoulder, daring someone to test him, will the crowd cheer louder or boo harder? And does he even care? Drop your final take in the comments. Defend your favorite. Call out who you think steps up next. And tell us, was this the greatest Continental Classic final ever, or the most controversial? Because no matter where you stand, one thing is undeniable: AEW crossed a line. Moxley drew it in bloodless violence. And Okada will remember it. This story isn't finished. It's just getting meaner. This is Ring Rumble, and in this ring, nothing is guaranteed.